It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Jimmie, I mean, you get asked after every race what your outlook on the points is, whether you were leading or not. A lot of people speculated that Carl Edwards was going to be good here regardless of whether you finished, but you managed to bounce back from being a lap down, from potentially losing a good part of your points lead to hardly losing any ground at all. Do you feel like with only Texas remaining at a 1.5 mile track that Carl's strong at and the other 2 tracks remaining that you have a little bit more of a sigh of relief that, you know, with the troubles of Burton and Biffle that you can cruise just a little bit, or is it the same thing? Because obviously slicing and dicing on the last lap like that, you weren't playing possum at all.
No, I mean, you got to race. You know, that's what we're here for. And if you have no clue what's going to take place next week or the final 2 races, and man, you got to go. You just can't sit still and be content with 6th, 7th, 5th, whatever, you know, wherever you're at. You've got to go. You just don't know what's going to happen, what kind of luck we're going to have, and you got to do it. So, you know, my outlook is better. There's 3 races left, and our points margin is bigger than it's been yet. So that's a step in the right direction. But until I have that trophy in my hand, I can't loosen up on things. I just got to keep my head down and keep working for this.
Bob.
Bob Pockers, NASCAR scene. Jimmie, I mean, when you're in 30th, are you looking at the pylon, looking at where the 99 is, or looking where the 16 is, or the 31? I mean, are you cognizant in all of the guys you're racing in the chase?
At first I was. I really expected Carl to be gone, and his car was so fast at the start of the race, and then 17 led for a while. Denny led a lot late, and you know, I was wondering, you know, if it was just track position killed the 99 or what had happened. But then those last couple of restarts, he got up there and got going. But so I had a feeling Carl was controlling the race or up there in the top 3. And once I got my lap back, you know, I'm running along, and there's the 31 and 16 right in front of me, and we ran a full fuel run all with each other. So I'm my mind thinking, well, at least we're all together if we get lapped again. You know, we're all in the same boat together. And I was able to get by him and get away and stuff. So at different points I did pay attention to that. But I could say at the end I was just really worried about getting every single point I could, and wasn't really paying attention to where the 31 and 16 were.
Go ahead, Dwight.
Dwight Drum, racetake.com. Jimmie, you've said in the past in so many words that you like to stay confident but worried. Are you going to carry that mindset all the way to the last lap in Homestead?
And try. And we're just going to show up each week and do what we can. And we got a good race team, and everybody's doing their part. So we have a lot of reasons to be confident. I think we'd be foolish to be cocky, but we're definitely confident in what we are, who we are as a team, and show up next week and try again.
I'm going to take some more questions, but I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions for Denny. If not, I'm going to excuse Denny. Any questions for Denny? Denny, we'll let you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we'll take some more questions now for Jimmie. Questions over here, Jerry.
Jerry Bunkowski, Yahoo Sports again. Jimmie, unless my math is wrong, you can clinch next week. It'd be a long shot, but mathematically you could clinch. More than likely, if you do clinch, you'll probably be Phoenix. Just your thoughts about that.
Man, it sure would make the week of Homestead a lot easier for me. You know, it'd be great if it happened, and that's certainly a goal that, if it's in, you know, our realm of accomplishing that, it's something we want to do. But truthfully, it's about beating, now I guess, the 99. I mean, he's second in points, so I've got to worry about still the 99, 16, 31, and those are the guys I'm racing at this point. Problem with that is one of those 3 guys is going to be leading the race. So, I mean, it means I've got to race for the win. So, just head down, keep digging.
Go upstairs, and then we'll come back down. Go upstairs, please. Go ahead.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Jimmie, you said that this place has become a lot like a bigger, oversized Darlington. Knowing that, with that last pit call, were you surprised more guys didn't come for tires? And maybe just talk about the tactic there by Chackenhouse and how it all worked out.
You know, the guys behind me came. We really had the perfect storm come together. You had the leaders that there's no way they're going to pit. Then a group of 3 or 4 guys that just got tires a couple laps ago. So they don't want to give up any track position. They feel pretty good about the tires they have on their car. And then myself, and tires make such a difference here that I was able just to get smoking around the outside and go. But this track is Darlington. It is what Darlington used to be. The only problem is we're going about twice the speed, and it's even more hairy than what we had at Darlington. But this track has aged a lot in my 7 or 8 years of driving in the Cup Series, and it's lost a ton of grip, and it's really rough, and it is a tough track. They need to come up with a nickname or something for this place, like Darlington has had. This baby's tough.
Dustin.
Landmark Newspapers. Jimmie, how challenging was those last few laps? Obviously, because of the tires, that helps. Was it as easy as it looked? Was it that difficult? And I guess how does it compare to anything that you've done in races where you made runs at the end? Was it that big of a deal?
No, I mean I had a lot of speed, and that's the hardest I've been able to drive my car throughout the race. We had tire pressures up and made some adjustments to kind of treat it like 8 laps of qualifying, and that's really what I did. The first few laps, the tire was so good that I was pretty confident in what I could do and how far I could go. And then each lap went by, it started losing a little grip and slipping and sliding. And the last 2 laps, I had my hands full. I couldn't just mat the gas when I got back in the throttle and hold on to it. I was fighting it up off the turn pretty bad. So, I got to 4th, and I took a deep breath and said, okay, this is good. And then something in the back of my mind said, wait a second, there's still 2 more up there you can easily get. So I just, again, put my head down and got going, and real close with Denny. And I'm glad that worked out like it did, and I'm glad he hung on to it and stayed off me. But I read my eyes. It was time to go. I wanted to get every point I could.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Jimmie, there's been times in the past where people have said you don't have a fiery personality, that this, that, and everything else. But watching out there on the track today, obviously the fire, you must show that fire from your driving ability. Talk a little bit about that, and if you're starting to kind of get tired of people saying that your personality isn't one that a lot of people tend to invoke a passion one way or the other.
Yeah, I've always just have had more success and the better reputation. And there's a couple times I've climbed out of a car and have been a smart ass about things, and it just doesn't work for me. I can't get out like Stewart and create a hurricane and be okay with that. I don't do good at that stuff. Certain guys do. Carl will probably admit, if you ask him when he comes in, that he started a hurricane with Harvick and that crash and all the stuff that went on, and he didn't like it. It wasn't what works for him. And I've known that my entire career. I've always raced people with respect. I've always just tried to settle it on the track and settle it in a way that it's racing, but I'm not a pushover by any means out there, and that's just my style and the way that I've always raced. And I think it's why guys work with me so well on track over the years. There's just a lot that spins off of it. If you get out there and you race hard, but you don't screw with people, things work out a lot better.
Question over here in the corner. Go ahead.
Josh Briggs, the Covington News. Jimmie, talk about the tire a little bit. How did it feel today, especially compared to the spring race? It looked like a lot of guys used up the right side of their car. I know that this is a high groove track, but how did the tire feel to you?
It's really tough for me to say that I could feel a difference with the tire. I remember, it's so long ago, I can't remember if we had blown tires or not. I thought we had a couple. So I think the tires lasted longer, but to me, and I'm not sure what the change was, I should, but it felt like maybe a little softer compound.
Softer right sides.
Softer compound, but the construction is still not matched up for what the car needs and wants here. And this track is so different than any other mile and a half that we run on. I can't explain to you how rough it is in this car. I think the old car with the more travel that we had, a little more forgiving, but in this car with the splitter hitting the ground and it being solid like it is, the bump stops, this place is a monster, man. It's got its own characteristics, and I commend Goodyear for taking a shot at making the tire better, and I think we probably saw some improvements. But from a driver's standpoint, I can't say that I felt a lot different this time versus last time. I had my hands full both races.